family friends and my family in Indonesia, but I have so many clients friends. It's so fun to work in Indonesia. Nasi box. Nasi box means box of rice. Mwah. Hi, and miss you from here from Romania. Talk about a very important point. Hello guys, welcome or welcome back to my channel. For whoever is new here, my name is Cristina Surya and it's time for story time. Alright guys, straight to our subject today. I am going to talk about my experience as an international model in Indonesia. I've reached Indonesia many years ago and I am ready to share with you my experience as an international model there. I arrived, so today we are going to talk only about the beginning, of me arriving in Indonesia, how it went, what it meant for me to be an international model in a local Indonesian agency. So here we go! We will start the story from my traveling, from going to Romania to Indonesia, and by the way, right now I am back home, I am back to Romania. And yeah, so once upon a time there was a girl named Cristina still by that time, before I got married. My name was Cristina Danila, and I left to Indonesia, guys. So I got on a flight, 18 hours flight probably, including the transit of course, and I reached Indonesia. First step of me out of the airplane, it felt like I couldn't have enough air to breathe. Why? Because I left, it was beginning of the year, so I left from a cold European country and I arrived in a very humid, hot, tropical country. And literally my first step out of the plane was I couldn't have enough air to breathe. And it was like, for me, was a little bit confusing. Why I cannot even breathe, and it's a very specific smell in the air for me in Indonesia every time I arrive there. Okay, after that the agency driver picked me up from the airport. It was night, I remember, afternoon, and they dropped me to the model apartment. So I'm gonna go chronologically, yeah? After that, I started, because I just arrived and they were very nice and trying to be helpful after a long flight. For sure I was very tired, so they offered me some local street food that was very tasty. I ate it all, was amazing, called bubur, so it's like basically a overboiled rice with chicken and nuts. So it was very nice and very healthy for the stomach as well too, after a long travel, let's say. Nah, just guys, my stomach was not used just yet with all the new bacteria and all the new environment. So I got very sick for quite a long time because as I told you, I arrived after a very long flight, tired, and everything was very new for me, especially the street food that it's amazingly good in Indonesia, that after a while I start to eat it on a daily basis. But yeah, for sure my body needed accommodation as well. Not only me in the model apartment accommodation, but my body, my stomach and my whole being needed to accommodate to the new country. I was about to stay for 5 or 6 months at a time, I don't remember exactly. Okay, so a little bit of details about the agency I was in. They offered me plane tickets, they offered me accommodation, as I told you before, an apartment to live in on the whole stay under my contract. They offered me as well pocket money. Usually the pocket money, the international contract, sits around $50 per week. That it's enough usually to buy food and everything, but for me, being born and raised in Europe, I'm such a cheese lover and let's say ham and bread and normal European food that tend to be a little bit pricey there. So after a while living in Indonesia, you will for sure get used to the local food, or at least like try to, and to spend smart until you understand the currency and the prices. For sure in the beginning the spending is going to be a little bit high. Alright, so after I gave you these details, also I want to tell you about the commission. So the model is getting 50% of every job. The mother agency that sent you to that found you the contract is going to take 10%, and the local Indonesian agency is going to take 40%. This is, as far as I understood, a very basic sharing commission for the international contracts. Okay, after, let's get to the work itself, guys. So after I arrived, me being sick for a while, I took a longer break than I should have taken. Okay, so in Jakarta, because even though, yeah, in Indonesia, it's the capital city is Jakarta, and that's where usually the models go for contracts. There is Bali as well. If you're lucky enough, you can get a job in Bali. Oh my god, that's amazing. For me personally, I never got a job in Bali, guys. I just realized after, like in the contract in the agency I've been in, they took us to Bali, so it was a very nice and amazing experience. Okay, so the job desk in Jakarta, it's usually based on catalogs, where you do photo products, so you're shooting clothes and a lot of clothes usually, fashion shows, events. Of course, before pandemic, before COVID, were a lot of events. TVCs are the shootings, yeah, the video shootings, the commercials we would shoot for TV. The commercials are, and the fashion shows, I need to warn you just in case you want to travel to Indonesia as a model, or you're interested to know about how the work in Indonesia works. From my perspective, the fashion shows and especially the TV commercials take a lot of time for the shooting. I think everywhere actually. For the fashion shows, not really everywhere, but yeah, in Indonesia, so you have the rehearsal early in the morning, sometimes 5, 6 or 7, rarely 8 or 9 a.m. So it's a very early rehearsal. Usually if there is no more fitting between the rehearsal and the show time, before you start the makeup and everything and the hairdo, they would let you go either in the mall that the fashion show is, or I don't know, you can even go home for a few hours if you have time. But the TV commercial shootings are usually very long because there are many actors, many supporting talents, so it's taking very long. But the payments usually are the highest in the TV commercials. Okay, and last but not least, there are also photo huntings. For you that haven't traveled to Indonesia just yet, mostly models don't know what is that, photo hunting. So I think it's a special job created in Indonesia. So usually many photographers hire one or more models to take photos of. So usually these photographers are not doing it as a main job but as a hobby. So there is usually a teacher and many other photographers that are taking photography as a hobby. So probably there is a photography course. It is a paid job, so it's a job. It's a little bit lower paid as they are still learning how to shoot. It's a fun shooting because you get to work with and meet a lot of people, but it's also a tiring one from my perspective because being so many photographers, usually for example there are 5 models, one model will be shoot at once by 10 to 20 photographers. And of course they want to get your eyes straight into their camera, so they take credit of the photo and they're gonna be here, 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 but at the end of the day it's nice. I'm a very extrovert person, I love communicating, and I see every job opportunity as having fun, as conversating with somebody, as sharing experience, and as well you get to spend the day with other models, with clients, so that is a lot of fun usually for me. Okay, I wanna talk with you next about the living place. As I told you first, the agency is going to provide an apartment or a house that you are going to share with the other models. For me personally, that it's again fun because I'm getting to talk with other girls. Usually there is the girl apartment and the boy apartments. Rarely they are mixing up the apartments, but usually you get to share so much. And for me, in my case, I was sharing the apartment with other girls. It was very nice. Usually you are making like sometimes like life-lasting friendships, and it's very nice to get to know how are other girls from other countries and what experience they have, and where they have been to. So it's a very nice and a lot of fun contract, let's say, yeah, under an agency. Okay, now let's discuss a little bit from my point of view about the client behavior. For me, Indonesian people are the kindest people on earth. Why I'm telling you this? Because I find them very happy all the time, and not only very happy guys, but very kind, very stress-free. That's why I think Indonesian people live so long, because they have a problem, let's say, yeah? They don't stress that much about that problem. They are saying, as long as we have food and we are healthy, these problems are coming and are going. And for me, after living for so long in Indonesia, I like to believe that it made me like a better human. Like, I'm not, of course I'm not at their level of not stressing that much. I'm still European, I still have a lot of overthinking, so but yeah, it's been a very nice experience. About the workplace, about the client behavior, they are very nice. Some of them might not speak English, but they are going to try their best to make us feel good, to make us feel at home, and to make us laugh. And if I can give you any advice regarding the clients in Indonesia, from my point of view, from what I understood in the many years I used to live there, you will not work only if you are the prettiest, the skinniest, or the best experienced model. No, you are going to work the most if you are going to be nice, respect them, and smile. That is so important for them. The energy you're sending to the client, in my opinion, it's very important. I have so many friends. I have, of course, few friends that are models, and family friends, and my family in Indonesia, but I have so many clients friends. It's so fun to work in Indonesia, in my opinion. You get to share experience. They are funny. The food is good. Oh yeah, another important thing I need to tell you about eating at work. Some of the clients will offer breakfast, like some bread or some milk or some tea, coffee. Most of the clients nowadays are doing that. For the lunch, usually you will get nasi box. Nasi box means box of rice. That is usually, and inside you have rice, you have chicken or some meat, you have some veggies, and tofu or soybeans. For me, in the beginning, to be honest, was a little bit difficult to adjust to the food, and I think for almost most of the international models that are girls, it's a little bit hard, especially if you're not eating spicy. They are mostly eating spicy, but of course you can request, please, I don't want the food to be spicy. If you are vegan, vegetarian, or you don't like fried food, I am suggesting you with all my heart to bring your own lunch, or even if you're on a diet or respecting some eating time. So yeah, best is to bring your own food, as they mostly provide that delicious, for me now, rice box. You know, so I'm gonna tell you, because like I said that I'm gonna be specific on the contract only, but I need to tell you that after so many years living in Indonesia, we had an amazing fashion show. where they provided, because we were all international models, they provided only like European food, like lasagna, salads. Like the food was amazing. The girls that were spending only one contract in Indonesia were so happy, but for me, after living for so long there, I was like, but where is my rice? Like that little piece of lasagna, or that like was like, I was like, I'm hungry, I'm going to get to be hungry so fast, because I'm one of those models that never had a diet in their life. I am just naturally skinny, thanks to my parents, thanks God. So I am just naturally skinny and I can't really survive without carbs. Okay, and last but not least, I want to tell you also a little bit of information about the photographers and the results you get from the photographers in Indonesia, because first, when I left in Indonesia, I was told that in Indonesia it's a very good and the right place to go if you need a portfolio, and that is right. That is right. There are a lot of photographers in Indonesia, there are a lot of amazing and very good photographers in Indonesia, and there are also so many other photographers that are doing it as a hobby. Some of them as well are having amazing results, and they are really dedicated to their work. I have a lot of friends too that are photographers. If you are watching right now, mwah, hi, and miss you from here, from Romania. And yeah, but the results, I need to be honest, and I told you from my perspective, there are amazing photographers and of course amazing results. There are a lot of photographers too that are still learning, as I told you before as well, from the photo hunting, and from those photos usually you cannot, especially the results of the photo huntings, you cannot actually many times expect to have a lot of good photos to add to your portfolio, because some of them, in my opinion, are without any editing or with too much editing. Of course, if it's a raw photo, and nowadays all of us, I guess, have a smartphone with some editing apps on them and we can do the work ourselves, but there is no one to blame. Again, if they are still learning, I am a very supportive person and I am telling them, go on, live your dream and be a photographer if this is your real hobby. So mostly about my experience under the contract in Indonesia, this was it, guys. If you have more questions, please don't hesitate to write it in the comment section. It was very nice, and it made me a little bit nostalgic to talk all over again about my first experience in Indonesia. At the moment I can tell you that I am missing Indonesia and I can't wait to go back. Oh yeah, and before we are closing, I forgot to talk about a very important point. About the money and about the revenue you are going to make from the contract in Indonesia. If you are looking to come for a contract where you can make a lot of money, like other Asian countries are famous for, in my opinion, in Indonesia it's not the same. In Indonesia, as I told you before, you can build an amazing portfolio, that there are amazing photographers in Indonesia with amazing results. You need to look for them, and if you ever need any recommendations, I can give them to you. Yeah, if you are looking to make lots of money to bring back home or to your next contract, Indonesia, in my opinion, is not the place under a contract in the agency. For new face models that are looking to make their portfolio better, to improve their portfolio, is the perfect place. And for me, I came in Indonesia as my, I was also quite a new face in the international modeling world, and in the end I decided to stay. It's an amazing country, because at the end of the day money are not the most important, and Indonesia, it's an amazing country from my point of view again, with amazing people, and I have a lot of good experience in Indonesia. So guys, that was it. I'm sorry I forgot to talk about an important point. There it is. Stay safe, and I will see you in the next video.